Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, the time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, the post office, UPS, FedEx, and of course that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. And we also talk about the toy news of the week that interests me, that probably interests you, and we wrap it all up into a ball and we call it weekly purchases. But today we got a special weekly purchases, as this is the 100th edition. Can you believe it? 100 editions of weekly purchases. We have never missed a week. You guys know Kyle, you can set your watch to me. I'm like clockwork. I am consistent. I'm saying it, the hardest working man in show business, or YouTube, or this table. Who knows? Depending how you sit. And as you guys know, I sit right here. But I'm like the James Brown of YouTube. Hardest working man. I always show up, always show out, always ready to go. And we're ready to go with another weekly purchases here today. And also this week, we crossed over 2 million views on the channel. So 2 million views on the channel. What a milestone that is. A great week out there. And then, of course, the 100th edition of Weekly Purchases. And you guys know we always celebrate with the 100 editions and milestones and all kinds of stuff. And we're going to have a giveaway in this video. Stay tuned to the back half. We'll announce a giveaway. And it is something I like a whole lot, and we recently reviewed it on the channel. So you guys will want to stay tuned. And of course, I'll ask you here at the beginning, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell, thumbs up the video, share the videos, all that fun stuff. Follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So all that fun stuff helps support the channel, all kinds of stuff. So there you go. But let's get into it. We always recap the week that was on the channel. An interesting week. They're all interesting, aren't they? AEW Unrivaled Series 8. We walked through every single one. We unboxed them all. Gave my thoughts. A bit of a step back from the last Unmatched series. This Jazzwares line is just ups and downs, ebbs and flows. They got to get a little bit more consistent. Some gold in there, but a bit of a step back, I think, from the last Unmatched set. We did the top 5 RVD. Of course, I put that up to a vote on my YouTube community page. It was neck and neck, 50-50 till about the last day. I think RVD won 51% to 49%. So really, really close on that top 5. So we went with RVD this week. We'll do Vader next week. A lot of people saying, Kyle, no ECW figures on there, no OSFTMs, and it just didn't make my top 5. I like that line enough, but not top 5 enough. We'll just put it that way. But some of you guys put your list down below. I like it. RVD's an interesting one. He's got a couple of Mattels, a ton of Jacks, which a lot of them are very similar, I understand. And then you got the OSFTMs, and it's just interesting. It's interesting dynamic. Some good deluxe aggression figures from RVD as well that did not make the list. Maybe that's one we revisit in a few years. Hopefully Mattel gives us some more, and then we do a top 10 RVD. So I'd like to see that maybe in the future. So stay tuned, as I always say. We unboxed the Cella Dynamite Kid, my first go around the sun unboxing one of these brand new Cella retros, and I gotta say, I was bowled over. I thought it was an amazing figure. I liked it a lot. It was way better than expected. Be very interesting where the future of these lines go, as we talk about them about every week, and I think we'll be talking about them a little bit later here in Weekly Purchases. Spider-Man, the retro card, starting to hit Target stores right now. You can pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below, as you guys know. Hammerhead and Spider-Man in the black costume, the symbiote Spider-Man, had both of those on the channel this week. Very, very cool figures. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be picking those up as well. He-Man, we got Triclops Masters Universe Revelation this week, and we got Stridor, the mighty Steed Stridor from the Origins line. Unboxed both of those on the channel. Very, very fun ones. Elite Series 92, WWE Elite Series 92. We did the unboxing, and we did the rankings, and we put them in order. A very, very strong series, I thought. Very happy to get Elite 92 reviewed on the channel and all that. And you guys know we unbox all the wrestling figures here on the channel. And then this week was a special one. As you guys know, I've been going all over the Midwest. I'm doing a lot of presentations early in the year, kickoff meetings, things like that. And you guys know, if Kyle's spending the night somewhere, he's spending his nights figure hunting. He's spending his early mornings figure hunting. He's stopping in. He's doing stuff. So this week, 2 figure hunting videos. I know a lot of you guys, that's your favorite video on the channel. Well, it's like a present for the 100th edition of Weekly Purchases. We had 2 figure hunting videos on Friday. Check both of those out. One is old Kyle, Stranger in a Strange Land. Found a lot of cool stuff, seeing how the other half lives. It's always fun going to Targets and Walmarts outside of my area that I'm not accustomed to. You just never know what you're going to run into. Who's the peg warmer over there compared to where I am, and so forth. So that was a lot of fun. And then we did our traditional figure hunt in my own area. So 2 figure hunts. Next week, probably just 1 figure hunt, but I am on the road once again. I will be up in northeast Iowa traveling around. So we'll see what kind of Walmarts and Targets they got up there. See if I can find some stuff. So always fun. You guys know I love figure hunting. It's one of my favorite pastimes. It's how I relieve stress. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Some more fig hunts next week, just like every other week on the channel. So there's a little recap, but let's get into the news of the week. We always talk news. And I should say, too, the back half weekly purchases, you know what? I kind of joked about this for a while. 100th edition of weekly purchases, why don't we have 100 purchases? Well, wouldn't you know, being on the road, clearance season, everything else, well, I think we overdid 100 purchases this week. So we got a big back half of weekly purchases, so stay tuned for that. But we got a little bit of news, of course. But wrestling news this week, Mattel finally sending out fixes for the Ultimate Edition Kane. As we know, the mask paint was not correct, and the annoying elbow lack of paint. They are sending corrections out. Hit up Mattel on Twitter. Hit them up in Messenger. You got to have the code on your foot. You got to have your purchase receipt. You got to have your name, your address, your phone number, your email. You got to give them all that kind of stuff, but they will send those out. They were being a little bit difficult for me in full transparency. They were like pretending they didn't know anything. I'm like, you guys are probably getting a lot of messages about this. Maybe ask somebody else. It was just crazy. They said, you know, I want this picture. I want this receipt. All this. So I did get it all to them, and mine should be coming next week. So I'll let you know in weekly purchases. Brings me to a reminder, as we all know, the Aubrey Edwards AEW Unrivaled Jazzwares that came with the ring, the yellow torso. Mine had the yellow torso. I reached out to Jazzwares. Man, that one's been pretty difficult. It took them 6 weeks from they answered my initial email, wanted receipts, wanted all this, pictures, all that, got that. And then nothing for 3 weeks. I kept emailing once a week. Hey, haven't heard an update. What's going on? What's going on? Finally, they sent me a mailer so I could mail it, you know, postage paid, all that stuff, and they were going to send it back. So I did that 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago now, and they said they did get it, and they will get it back to me, but still waiting. I got a bad feeling I'm just going to be out an Aubrey Edwards figure. If I knew it was going to be this challenging, I probably would have just kept it. So I hope the Jazzwares team gets me an Aubrey Edwards back. We'll see. They got to make it right. It is what it is, but some challenging fix-up, but at least Mattel and Jazzwares are attempting to make things right. Hopefully I'll have an update next week in weekly purchases. So there you go. Retros, the big order on Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time at least. The Retros back up for order. A lot of people have been waiting for this date for a long time, and I say it all the time. We vote with our wallet. There's a lot of internet vocal majority, or minority, I should say. A lot of people are very vocal on the internet, as we know, but those are the minority. Who is going to pick these up? A limit of 2. You guys know I got my 2 for sure. But where does everybody else fit in? There's a lot of people saying, we want retros, we want retros. Will they vote with their wallet? Will they back their mouth up? That's the thing, and that's what we always got to take that business step back. People always say they want something, but when it comes time to give that money out, maybe not. Maybe not. I always go back to the story in the grocery business. People always have these surveys and stuff. Do you want organic? Do you want the healthiest stuff for your family? Do you want this? Everybody always says 100% yes, that's what I want. Well, when they get the price point at $6 compared to regular stuff at $2, it's funny how fast that money goes back in the pocket. And that's no different than anything else. People always say they want stuff, but when push comes to shove, do they back it up? I always try to back it up. I always do. But not everybody does that. So it'll be interesting to see how these retros go. One shot at glory here. Hopefully they're very successful, and then we get another set here later on in the year and so forth, so forth. That sounds like the plan, but this has got to be a success. And I think there'll be enough people getting these, but it'll be interesting. Set 2, set 3, set 4, where it goes from there. But great time if you love retros. Great time for somebody like me that loves retros. So make sure you get your orders in. I'm not sure by this time if they're sold out or not. There was kind of mixed messaging there. It sounded like it was a limited order, and then it sounded like there was going to be a lot. I guess we'll find out, and we might know the answer by the time you're watching this video, so check it out. Speaking of retros, Cella, talked about that Dynamite Kid. I really did like it. Cella coming in hot this week. They said, what would Kyle like? What is Kyle like in an action figure? Let's try to appease Kyle. There's only explanation for this, but they said, hey, you know what? Kyle always loves leather. He loves leather studs. He loves old school Judas Priest. It's one of his favorite bands. Let's give him something like that in figure form. And they did. They said, face paint, leather, studs, Demolition. Let's get Demolition retros. Man, I'm here for that all day long. Get me Demolition. Some people were vocal saying, we already have those in Hasbro's, we don't want them. But there's so much difference with these, and I'm a sucker for face paint. I'm a sucker for Demolition. This is my wheelhouse. But I do think there will be some people passing on these, and I think those people will regret it because these look very solid. And if they're up to the quality standards that Dynamite's up to, I think it's going to be a very good pack. So Cella Toys coming in hot this week with Demolition. I'm here for it all day long. So look to that in future weekly purchases. 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever it is. Heels and Faces, Zombie Sailor. We're talking retros. Madness. He did show a production picture of Raven. Raven coming to the Heels and Faces line. That's a good one. A lot of us love Raven, of course, ECW guys like myself. But a lot of articulation in this one. He can do his bend down in the corner, stuff like that. So I'm very excited about this Raven figure. But he did show some pictures of that. Cella, Zombie, every single week, peppering out a little bit of information, keeping their name on everybody's tips of their tongue. That's what you got to do. It is a business at the end of the day. Always be promoting, always be selling. That's what they're doing. So kudos to them. Out there on the grind like everybody else. Then we got to AEW Jazzwares to talk about them again. They had a toy fair, I believe it was in London of some sort, and this flew right under the radar, but some pictures came up, of course, and it looks like AEW is going to have their answer to the Mattel Ultimate Edition line, and they're going to be called AEW Supreme. Interesting name, but they're going to be the deluxe figures, kind of like what we get from Ultimate Editions, maybe even Super 7 Ultimate Editions. You guys know Ultimates are everywhere these days. It's going to be the Ultimate Editions of AEW Jazzwares figure. And we're getting Britt Baker and, of course, Cody Rhodes. Kicking it off with a female and male, two of their most popular athletes in the AEW roster, I would say. So it makes sense to me. I know people groan about the Cody, but it is what it is. We talk about that all the time on the channel. But very, very interesting to see where that goes. I tell you guys, there's already the Unmatched. There's the Unrivaled. You got the Amazon exclusives. You got the Ringside exclusives. Now you got the new Supreme line. I would not be shocked to see more lines added. They're taking the Jax playbook, which was very, very successful, and running with it. You see these Chris Jerichos, they change a scarf and a little thing here and there, and bam, you got a new figure. You're going to see a lot of that. So a lot of people that said they were going to be AEW completists, I'm going to see about every month, I think, some people dropping out of that where there's just very, very few remaining. Kudos to you if you're doing an unboxed set and a mid-on-card set. I know how difficult that is on the wallet especially, but kudos to you out there. You should be proud of yourself. That's what I say. So there you go. There's a little of that. And then the final wrestling news this week was Greg Gagne. Yes, Greg Gagne. The guy that told my dad, or my dad basically said, wrestling not quite on the up and up when he saw Greg Gagne when he was in college. And just there's something just missing here. But anyways, we talked about this 6 months ago maybe. Greg Gagne throwing his hat in the ring. Yes, his hat right in the ring there. He is coming out with his own, I believe, Remco style, think He-Man style. I doubt they're going to be great like the Origins. I'm thinking it's going to be like some of those Funko He-Man style figures is where my head goes with that. But Jacques Rougeau, yes, the Mountie himself, one of the Rougeau brothers, and one of my most wanted figures in Mattel is the Mountie and a classic Rougeau brothers. Criminal, we haven't got any Rougeau brother figures ever. Going LJNs, Hasbro, Jakks Classics, Mattels. We need the Rougeau brothers. I hope that day does come. I just loved it. They're all American boys, after all. We need them in the Elite line, hopefully one day. But apparently, Jacques Rougeau, and man, he's bringing his whole family. His whole family's coming. I got the email right here. It says they're going to make figures of course, Jacques Rougeau, great uncle Eddie Auger, his uncle Johnny, father Jacques, and his brother Raymond, Ray, of course, and his brother Armand. Holy cow. So you're getting the whole Rougeau clan. Now, if you're from, was it Montreal? Montreal, of course. If you're a Montrealian, welcome, Canada. My tip of the hat to you guys. Now, Montreal, Jacques Rougeau is a big deal. We know he headlined many a cards back in the day. He beat Hulk Hogan in Montreal. And the Rougeau family, a stronghold in Montreal wrestling. But man, the rest of the world, Jacques and Raymond, a lot of people might pick up. But man, I don't know Eddie Auger and Uncle Johnny Rougeau. I don't know these guys, and I know a lot of wrestling. I've been to the Hall of Fames. I've studied wrestling my whole life. I know a lot of names. That's deep for even old Kyle out there, and that doesn't translate into good figure sales from where I sit, as you guys know right here. I just don't know. If any of you guys, and you don't live in Montreal or the surrounding area, are you going to pick up all these guys? I don't know anybody that will. So these could be the most priceless figures of all time because nobody bought them. I just don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I love how Jacques Rougeau, he wanted to thank Greg Gagne from the state of Minnesota for capturing his family. So Minnesota, you're getting a nice thank you from Jacques Rougeau as well. But man, is that ever an interesting announcement. And it's weird we haven't heard anything from that company, and then Jacques spills the beans, I guess. But let's see some prototypes. Let's see what we're dealing with. This might surprise us, but man, this is one where I buy about everything. This one I just think is going to miss the mark for me, but we'll see. I'm anxious to hear more, but man, is it a crazy, crazy thing. That's just really kind of boggled my mind is what that did. It's just a boggler. That whole Rougeau family, I just don't know if there's been a calamity. Has there been a fuss? I haven't heard any fuss. I keep my ears to the streets. No fuss. So we'll see where that ends up going, but very, very interesting. So that's the wrestling news this week. A few other things, of course, Mythic Legions, Krampus. A lot of people missed out on Krampus for the holidays. If you missed out, check out my review on the channel. I think we did that on like Christmas Day. But Krampus is coming back. He is going to be a pre-order on the Big Bad Toy Stores of the world, link in the description below. But he will be all red instead of black. So if you missed Krampus on the first go-around, you got a second chance. We're going to build a Krampus army, it sounds like. So get your pre-order in. News in the next few weeks when those will go up for pre-order. But that should be pretty cool. And then speaking of Big Bad Toy Store, speaking of things Kyle has not bought, but I think I'm going to finally pull the trigger. You guys know I love a good Sega Genesis. Well, you probably don't, but I did. And I love Golden Axe. That was my favorite game on Sega Genesis back in the day. Well, they've got Axe Battler with his dragon and 2 skeletons as a BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. $269 though. But very hard to get pack, put it all in together. Great way for people that missed out to be able to get back in this, get the Axe Battler, all that. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Doesn't really work with a lot of my collections, but such a cool set. We've seen how great the Storm figures from the wrestling, Mortal Kombat, you name it. A lot of awesome figures. I just can't pass it up. I can't pass it up. I'm going to pre-order this. Can't wait to unbox these on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But if you missed out on the Storm collectible Golden Axe figures, now's your chance to go back and get one of the most sought-after sets. So I thought that was pretty cool. And doing it as a retailer exclusive, I thought was pretty cool as well. Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below. Support the channel. So there you go. We also heard Marvel Legends, a little announcement this week. Wolverine, Jubilee, Mr. Sinister. We saw animated, these are the animated VHS cover kind of packagings. We saw these this week, some more glamour shots. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see these coming very soon in the next month or so. Very interesting. If you're a kid like me from back then that loved the animated series, this is right up your alley. Not so sold on the cell shading quite yet. We'll see. Hopefully it looks better in hand. But it's a great way to get some of these animated characters. Will we see an Avalanche and some of those guys that we haven't gotten the traditional Marvel Legends into the animated line? It'll be interesting to see how that all nets out. So I'm excited for this one as well. Like I said, I got to think those are coming fairly soon. All right, we continue on with weekly purchases, and we talk a little bit more Marvel Legends, as this week some of the news sites out there released that Marvel Legends is looking at taking a new price increase. Recently, you know, we were $19.99 or so, and now went to $22.99 in the last quarter or so, 3 months or so. A lot of or so's going on. But $22.99 is a new price point, but the rumor is Hasbro will be jumping up to a $24.99 price point. I gotta tell you guys, if you watch these weekly purchases, 100 of them, as you guys know, we've talked a lot about inflation. And old Kyle, a year ago about today, I was telling you guys, man, just wait for that fall. Things are gonna go up in price, and they did. It all came out, and a lot of people said, oh, it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. Well, we've seen it repeatedly the back half of 2021, and we've already saw it at the beginning of 2022. And it sounds like later this year, probably sooner than later, we're going to be a $24.99 price point on Marvel Legends. I have to think that'll trickle into G.I. Joe, everybody else. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, Mattel Elites and Mattel He-Man, those aren't going to go up again. Well, guess what? It's a dirty secret that most of you guys probably know, but it always takes somebody to jump first. Who's going to go up in price first? Competition follows. That's exactly what happens. It's an interesting strategy, the whole inflation and pricing game, and not just action figures, but clothes, food, you name it. There's a lot of moving pieces and all this kind of stuff, and inflation does not help because there's always price increases, but this is just unprecedented in my lifetime, at least dealing with this stuff in my work life. And I've been in the game 28 years working. Yikes. But inflation, that's going to cut. And we always say it, we got to vote with our wallets. So there's going to be a lot of people. I've already done it. You guys have seen that, kinda. I've bailed out of some lines, but it seems like I'm adding lines all the time, so I'm a terrible example. But I think there are a lot of people that are bailing out of stuff because you only got so much money for things. You got to do stuff. Maybe you're going to sell some old collection stuff off. Maybe it's so hard to say goodbye. You're going to sell this to be able to pay for this new stuff. You just got to ask yourself, look in the mirror, figure that all out. But price increases are coming. I got to tell you guys, I said end of January 2022, there's going to be a lot of price increases. I know firsthand, I delivered one myself to some customers, and it's not pretty. It's not a pretty time. There's no feel good about it, but costs are rising across the board. And it is what it is. That's what we're doing. It sucks. I don't think, historically, when have you ever seen prices go back? They go up, they stay there. They don't go back. And I don't think it will either. Once again, got to get a deal. One of the mottos of the channel, something I strive to do every single day, and you'll see some of it in weekly purchases. But you got to get a deal. So $24.99 Marvel Legends, you might wait for that hot buy two, get one free. Some of the deep discount sales, that's when you'll swoop in. Because what happens is if people aren't buying them, they're going to go to a more of a discount. But you got to be careful with that because obviously Hasbro and them, they've got, their product out there. Then they cut back supply is what they'll do. So it's not like there's going to be tons of extra figures in every set. They got to figure out the orders and get them right. And once they get them right, they stuck to that. So it's just an interesting dynamic. It's always just horrible to talk about. I hate it. I hate paying more for stuff you paid for less. But it's just the world we live in, and I've been talking about it since day one here on the channel. We'll continue to talk about it, but it sounds like that's coming, and my gut tells me if that actually goes up to $24.99, you're going to see Mattel, Elites, Jazzwares, a lot of that stuff going to go right up there with them. Why wouldn't you? If you can get more for your product, you're going to do that. It'll be really interesting. But then you get the retailer aspect of it all, where Walmart and Target, we're seeing this Walmart right now, currently in the world we're living in. Walmart had a ton of price increases. They chose not to pass that increase on to the consumer. We're talking clothes, food, toys, whatever. They've gotten some of this. Obviously, there's certain instances maybe they have. And Walmart is really interesting as they are not priced the same throughout the country. They have different pockets of pricing that they do. But a lot of stuff, they have not passed on that to the consumer. Why is that? Well, COVID coming around, obviously, Walmart got hurt with COVID, and especially certain categories of their store where people went to smaller places. People didn't want to be around a lot of people. Walmart, we all know, a lot of people view them as a dirty store. It is. It's the stigma they've got. So COVID, people are scared of getting sick. They're not going to Walmart. They're going to mom and pops. They're going to different places. They're going to Amazons. They're going to Targets. So Walmart lost a lot of share, lost a lot of sales. How are they combating that? Well, COVID started to not be as crazy. It's still crazy, but not what it was back at the inception, we'd say. So their customer count has started rising again. They want to keep those customers, so they're not going to scare those customers off with a price increase. They're going to let Targets or the mom and pop stores, whatever, they're going to let them take that price increase because, hey, they don't have as deep of pockets as Walmart. And they will take the price increase. Then that Walmart customer will say, geez, I get my Gatorade here at Walmart. It's only $1 where it's $2 down the street. I'm saving all kinds of money. I'm going to stay at Walmart. And then Walmart will sneakily, a couple weeks later, months later, whatever, start inching those prices up as they've kept that customer. It's just the dirty secrets of retail, dirty secrets of how things are done. So very interesting time. So enough business talk. Let's get back to it. And let's get down to the album of the week. How about? And the album of the week was a late edition, as on Thursday, the unfortunate news came that a favorite band of mine, going all the way back to, let's call it 1993, 94, first time I saw them in concert as a young teenager, 13 I believe I was, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Yes, Kyle loves his heavy metal. Yes, he loves his classic rock, but he also loves his Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and his Real Big Fish. Old ska was sweeping the nation in the mid-90s, but I was ahead of the curve with the Boss Tones. I was getting into them. I saw them at a state fair on a free stage. No clue who they were, but man, they stole my heart at an early age. Love the Boss Tones. Enter Sandman cover. I remember that, just knocking my socks off. I'm like, I think I like this more than Metallica's version. But anyways, the Boss Tones announced after, gosh, decades and decades together, they are finally breaking up. Just a sad day in ska music history, or Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And like I said, you got to listen to the old school Boss Tone stuff. I get the impressions that I get and some of their really commercial stuff. It's all right. I don't hate it, but it's not my go-to. But my go-to for the album of the week is going to be an EP. It's going to be called Where'd You Go EP. That was one I had on tape way back in the day. I play it all the time. I love it. Skakora, the Devil and More. There's a lot of good stuff. Dickie Barrett, love his vocals, like juggling razor blades in his mouth, it sounds like sometimes. Like a young Udo Dirkschneider almost. But the Boss Tones calling it quits after many, many years, so I figured it was due. We got to give them the album of the week. Go back, listen to some early Boss Tones. Maybe you'll shock yourself, maybe you'll enjoy it. Who knows? But there it is. That's the album of the week. Oh, mighty, mighty Boss Tones, shed a tear. So there it is. Now we got to get down to it. Let's get down to the 100th edition of weekly purchases. 100 for 100, we'll call it. All right, let's kick off the 100th edition of weekly purchases with over 100 pickups this week. Yes, you heard that right. Did not set out, did not plan to do that, but between clearance events, normal stuff, a couple of new collections started, it just snowballed. And here we are, over 100 purchases. One of the biggest weeks we will ever have here on the channel. Quite possibly the most expensive week ever on the channel. We'll see how it nets out. You guys tell me in the comments below when all is said and done and the dust has settled. But reset season full swing. Targets, Walmarts. If you're not in your Targets and Walmarts right now, man, what are you waiting for? There is some deals to be had. A lot of people say, oh, mine never go on clearance. I never see stuff. Well, I think those people, because every Target I've ever been to, every Walmart I've ever been to, they've had clearance sections. And I've been in more Walmarts and Targets than the average Joe just because of my day job. So I would say I'm an expert at this. But clearance normally isn't in the aisle. Every once in a blue moon, but normally not. They take everything, throw it in grocery carts, do the reset, but all the clearance stuff goes out by garden center. Sometimes it's by the Hallmark cards, which is kind of weird. But you got to look. Know where your clearance aisles are in your stores, and you got to add those to your toy hunting list. You should be going to the regular aisle, the NECA set, and then over to the clearance set. That is what a proper figure hunt is all about. Check those out. You never know what you might find, but there's tons of toys in those clearance aisles right now. Target, always interesting. They usually use those end caps. Could be over by the bicycles. Could be in the actual toy aisle. You never know. So this time of year, you got to hunt. You got to look around. And this is truly the most magical time to figure hunt, as clearance season is always great. Got to get a deal out there. But as stuff goes to clearance, new product comes into the shelf. We're going to see a lot of new stuff today. Going to see a lot of old clearance friends. Got to get a deal out there as well. So there's a lot going on in the 100th edition of weekly purchases as well. Stay tuned. Somewhere in here, whenever we get to it, we have a giveaway. So I want to make sure you guys are a part of that giveaway, and we'll get all the rules going. So stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's start with some clearance stuff. Got a lot of heavy hitters here. It's going to be a long video, like I said, multiple weekly purchases, but got some amazing stuff, some new collections, and some great clearance deals. So stay tuned. Let's kick it off. We're going to kick it off with the Raw 10 line. You guys know the great hunt for Cygor on clearance. Never found him clearance in my area. One of you viewers out there sent it to me. It was very nice of you. But I did find my boy Hoof. Hoof, I said since day one, I said there's no way I'm putting him full price. But for $13 on clearance, Kyle's going to take Hoof. And that's exactly what I did. And it was funny, I was checking out at Walmart, and there was a young girl running the checkouts and stuff. And she came up to me, and she goes, oh, is that Rocksteady? And I looked at her, I gave her a look, I said, no, it's not Bebop either. But Rocksteady, no, it isn't him, it's Hoof. It's from the Raw 10 line, and she looked at me like I didn't know what I was talking about. But it's definitely not Rocksteady. But a big rhino, man, sign me up. I picked this one up, like I said, $13. You saw it in my action figure hunt. You'll see 99% of this stuff in my action figure hunt this week. So make sure you check out those videos if you did miss them. We roll on. This one was very exciting, $11. Now, I planned on passing on this. Never thought I'd see this one on clearance, but $11 for a NECA King Kong figure. I got the first edition. Had to pick this one up. Picked one up for my dad as well. Just a very, very cool piece. Kind of designed like the movie poster, but for $11, there's no passing this Kong up. You gotta get it. Gotta get it. This one I'm not so sure about. Actually, hopefully she's not watching. I might surprise Emma with this on Valentine's Day. Emma loves a good horror figure. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad, but we got the Scream Ghost, and in all honesty, Kyle's never seen the movie Scream. Yes, you heard it right. I've never seen a Scream movie. Just didn't look like something I'd be really that interested in. But the figure, $15, more than half off. I'm interested in that. And Emma loves Ghostface, so she'll enjoy this as a little present. So $15, check your Walmart clearance. That's exactly where I found that, as shown in the Figure Hunting Adventure. Now, here's an interesting one that I liked from the get-go, but I said there's no way I'm paying full price. Not even clearance price would I pay on this one. I like one of the characters, but not the other. And we're talking about McFarlane DC. You guys know I'm hot and cold on those. But I do love me some Green Lantern. I love Hal Jordan Green Lantern. That's what I grew up with. That's what I think of. That's why I was so disappointed when this was in a 2-pack for $40. I said there's just no way I'm paying that. I don't even know who this Earth 32 Green Lantern is. I have no idea who that is. I don't want him in my collection, don't need him. But I did come across this at $20 in a weak moment at Target this week. I said, you know what, 20 bucks? Maybe I can jump on that. And I did that. But then guess what happened? A couple days later, I went to a different Target. I found these for $11.99. $11.99. I said, I can't pass that up. I said, I don't need this other guy. I'll put him on eBay or something like that. Get $9 for him, maybe, something like that. And then I got Hal Jordan for $2 or $3. Got to get a deal out there. You got to be checking out that stuff. For 12 bucks, I thought it was a fantastic deal. I was very happy to get one. I got one for my dad, too. We'll see if he ends up wanting it, but got this. So Hal Jordan, McFarlane. Gotta get a deal. Gotta get a deal. We keep going. If you guys saw the figure hunt, one of the off the beaten path Walmarts, a sucker once again. He's born every minute, and I was too in the clearance aisle. $11 on clearance. I said, wow, 11 bucks. That just seems crazy. We do know there's a lot of mix and matching of parts we can do with these. So I bought some of these for future customs or future giveaways, possibly, or for a rainy day. We'll see. But I did pick up Kenny Omega for $11. I got Miro. I believe this is the different color tight, so I technically could open this up, display this, say it's the variant version of Miro. A bit of a stretch, but I got him for $11. Dr. Britt Baker, $11. You notice Rio never goes to clearance? What's up with that? What's up with Rio never going to clearance? They know she's worth $20, if not more. But Britt Baker down to $11. Picked that up, and then Cody Rhodes as well at $11. Always going with an LJN. You guys know me. I'm a sucker for LJN. That's what I started with. So 11 bucks. I felt like that was deal. Got to get a deal. I wish I would have paid $11 instead of the 8 or gosh probably 25, 26 that we pay on ringside for them brand new. Live and learn, as they say. Live and learn. Oh, I forgot one other one, Dustin Rhodes. Now, my thing is with this one, I'm thinking about opening this and using the other head sculpt and then maybe getting a soft goods shirt to go over this and kind of make it a different Dustin. So I'm thinking about that as a possibility. So stay tuned. We might do that one of these days soon. I ended up picking this up for $5. I figured I might put a trap jaw in my work bag. For $5, I felt like this was a good deal. And you put these on bags, your luggage, whatever. You guys know I'm a businessman. I'm traveling the Midwest at all times. Like I said, this week I'll be traveling on the road, so stay tuned for next week's figure hunt. Figure I'll put these on my luggage, put it on my bag, something like that. For $5, trap jaw and Triclops, that was worth it just for me there. So $5, got to get a deal. Ended up getting this one. I'm a sucker every once in a while for a discount McFarlane. This is the one line I'm very hot and cold, very up and down on. I felt I needed a Robin. I've always liked the looks of this Robin, but for $14.99 on clearance, I said, you know what? I'll buy this Robin. I will pick this one up. That's exactly what I did, $14.99, so got Robin. I think that's what, Drake? Tim Drake? Is that right? Tim Drake? Trying to use the memory. Got that one. And then you saw this one for $10. I couldn't pass this up. This is going to be one of those great holiday events. There's old Pee Wee Herman, bobblehead, Walmart exclusive, $10. Classic Pee Wee. Oh, Pee Wee. But Pee Wee, we all know him. We love him. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. But $10, bobblehead. This is going to be great next Christmas when I sneak this into my wife's Christmas setup. Every year I sneak those Gremlins in. I sneak that Misfit. Now Pee Wee's going to join the army. My wife's not watching this. I don't know if she's ever watched a weekly purchase. Shame on her. Shame on her. Don't be like her. Subscribe. All that fun stuff. But I'm going to try to hide this somewhere, so stay tuned. Maybe I'll remember to post that and see how long it takes her to notice Pee Wee in the Christmas decorations. But $10, got to get a deal. I got another Casey Jones for a rainy day. $24, Casey Jones, Walmart clearance. I've always liked Casey Jones. I still haven't unboxed this either. I have another one that I need to unbox. We'll get to that on the channel one of these days. But yeah, Casey Jones, $24. I just felt like this would be great trade bait down the line. Who knows? Maybe I can get a good trade out of it or something. I don't know. Sometimes you just see those hot clearances, you just can't pass them up. You can't pass them up. And you guys know we do a ton of unboxings on the channel. Actually, it's an obscene amount of unboxings. And old Kyle, I was always worried I might get COVID. And I haven't got it yet, knock on wood. I have not got COVID yet, but, everybody's time seems to come. But I have about 20 videos in the can just as safety nets. And I'm seriously considering doing a Patreon, and maybe more on that down the road. It would be very cheap, but if you guys want all the videos early, I do all my videos basically on Sunday, outside of a couple like weekly purchases. I have them all ready to go. You guys could get them all early at your own convenience. Got a couple of ideas that some of you guys might like as well, so I'm looking at it, $1 a month. What's that? What's $1 a month? Support old Kyle. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But like I'm saying though, I have all these videos and they're going to grow. I'm probably going to have, but by the end of the February, I might have 50 videos in the can for a rainy day. Stuff that's not as impertinent as maybe a new turtle set or a new wrestling set that you want to get out while the iron's hot, people are interested. But maybe it's this old Robin figure. I might unbox a bunch of McFarlanes, save those away for a rainy day. You might be able to get those months early in that instance. So more to come on that. I'm kicking it around. I've got some ideas I think a lot of you guys might like. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Clearance rolls on. Gremlins, $25. $25. Took me a second. I couldn't remember. $25 for the Christmas Gremlin 2-pack. Pretty good deal when it was $55. Now, we know we got a lot of Gremlins coming in 2022. The nice thing about these are they're basically plain Jane Gremlins. You can remove the accessories. And I believe the Demolition Gremlin pack that is upcoming has different gear, so it's really a 2-in-1. Well, I can take that extra gear from those, put them on these guys, and bam, I didn't have to pay $50 for 2 new Gremlin packs. I only paid half. So you got to think every once in a while, and you got to plan accordingly. And now look at your Walmarts, as these are going to discount. I've seen them anywhere from $35 to $25. As you guys know, as the weeks go on, clearance gets deeper and deeper if they don't sell. So long game deal, it's always dangerous, but it's a possibility. But Gremlin's out there if you're looking. And possibly the best clearance deal, you guys saw this. I had one store that had 25 of these at $12. This was originally, what, 40? $40. Originally $40. The Masters Universe Revelations Battle Cat, $12. You can't really pass this up at $12. I'm not a mint-on card collector for this line, but I'm just going to have this for a rainy day. I'm actually might pick up some more. I'm very tempted to try my hand at some customizing, or better yet, reach out to a good friend of the channel, old Dave Wheeler in Minnesota. I might run up there one of these days for work, swing by his house and say, hey, Dave, I need your help. Do it whenever you get time, but let's paint this to look like Panther. I know he could whip that up very easily for me. It wouldn't cost a whole lot because I think it would be pretty easy for somebody like Dave. Might take me a little bit longer, but I might get this into Panther. We'll see, or maybe Duplicat or something like that. But $12, you really can't go wrong. And I don't talk a lot about investing in toys, as you guys know, but every once in a while, this is one of these you buy for $12. Let's say you put it away for 5 years. All of a sudden, this is like a $100 Battle Cat, and everybody will be telling the stories. Remember they were $12 back in the day? A lot of things happen like that. Probably better off investing in your 401k, but it's always funner to invest in Battle Cats, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me. So we're going to roll with it. And then finally, I couldn't pass this up. I got another one of these. $10 on clearance, the old Hiss Tank. Joe's stuff is always hot. I got to think, just like the Battle Cat, years from now, this is going to be a hot one. I have one on card already or in box. I think I might open this one up just to have in my collection, as I love a good Hiss Tank. One of the few early G.I. Joe Cobra vehicles I did not have as a kid, so I always wanted a Hiss Tank. I've had them since, but not the one I had as a kid. So whenever I see a Hiss Tank, I'm always like, I always remember back, man, I didn't have that as a kid. I didn't have that and always wanted it. For whatever reason, I didn't get it. But there it is, the Hiss Tank, $10. So this is some of the stuff this week. We got about 4 more rounds to get to. So without further ado, let me clean up this mess. Let's kick it off with round 2. All right, let's kick off round 2 of weekly purchases, and the hits just keep on coming. I did go to smalljoes.com, Small Joe's Risers. You guys know from my detolfs, this is what I use. I think they are the best in the game. Always have to pick these up. Well, as I transition, as we work towards that collection tour, coming hopefully in March 2022, be ready. I'm transitioning my Ninja Turtle collection out of detolfs, going to use those 3 detolfs for wrestling. Thankfully, I get some reuse out of those, as detolfs aren't the easiest thing to get, especially when your closest to IKEA is 3.5 hours one way. But I'm going to use new Small Joe's Risers in those detolfs for future wrestling figures and stuff. Still got a lot of room, but you always got to be ready. Order these Small Joe Risers, the best in the biz. And speaking of like cases and display stuff, Big Bad Toy Store, great supporter of the channel, link in the description below. I got 10 more cases for Master Universe Origins. I put these on, you get the $4 shipping, might as well get as much as you can. Added these into my order. So I got more Masters Universe cases. So I got 12 Small Joe's Risers, 10 more of those cases. Hopefully somebody's keeping count here. That's 22 things right there. We're going to keep going. And how about a little pop? You guys know I'm not a big pop guy, but I did pick up the new Papa Emeritus pop figure, Hot Topic exclusive. It was on clearance for, I think, $6. And I got a couple of t-shirts as well. Got free shipping. $6. I said, I got all the other ones. Might as well pick this up. That's exactly what I did. $6. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. How about a little Marvel Legends? Very strange. The Doctor Strange wave. A very good segue there. Sleepwalker. If you're a kid of the early 90s, you collected the old school Marvel cards, you know all about Sleepwalker. So I'm happy to finally get him in figure form. Nobody really knows anything about Sleepwalker besides those cards. That's where everybody knew him from. It's kind of funny, but I love it that they give us a deepest cuts, a most wanted figure. We're getting that. But where's the rest of the wave? Let's get the rest of the wave out there. I've been to a lot of Targets that have just had one solo Sleepwalker hanging out. Very strange, but I got him this week. And keeping it on Marvel Legends, we unboxed the Symbiote Black Suit Spider-Man. We unboxed Hammerhead. Now I've got Shocker. Can't say I'm super excited about this Shocker, as the old one, it was good enough for me, but we'll compare them. We'll do a review. Just stay tuned for that in the future. I don't know when we're going to get to all this stuff. I tell you guys, we got about, I could do probably 10 videos a day at this point. We'll get to them. We'll get to them all eventually. We will. But yeah, Marvel Retro card coming through, coming in hot. Alley Viper Mania, you guys saw it. Bats and Alley Vipers were like gold for last month, 6 weeks or so. Now they are hitting Targets. They are hitting Walmarts. I think I ran into about 15 bats this week and probably 8 or 9 Alley Vipers out there. I did pick this one up as I do need a loose one. As you guys see, I picked this one up because it was torn. I said, you know what? I'm sure there's a collector that wants the other one mint on card. I'll pick up the torn one. So that's what I did. I'm going to unbox that one. And then, of course, I picked up another Alley Viper. So I got 2 Alley Vipers loose, 1 on card as my card collection continues. So 2 Alley Vipers. Alley Viper Mania is done. Now I turn my attention to Spirit, which could be the Joe figure of the year. And, of course, Storm Shadow. Can't wait to see those 2 in hand. Hopefully those come sooner than later. And speaking of G.I. Joe, man, you guys saw me on the figure hunt. I've never had such a devil and angel on my shoulder moment as this week on the figure hunt. What was I looking to at Target specifically? I hate this price point. I hate it with everything inside of me. I think it is a ripoff. I do. I just don't like it. I get it. I understand more than most about how much things cost. But it just sucks paying $17.99 for these. What am I talking about? G.I. Joe, of course. G.I. Joe Super 7 reaction figures. I know a lot of you guys said, Kyle, you're going to get them. Kyle, you're going to get them. I had friends tell me, Kyle, you're going to get them. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't need any more Joe lines. But man, seeing them in person, seeing the retro card back, just looking so cool. These actually look better than your typical reaction figures in my mind. A lot of those look just kind of the same with different heads almost. I mean, it's not that simple. But they just seem a lot very similar, and you're paying for the card back. I felt like these, the card back is amazing, but then the figure is amazing. You get the weapons, and it's got old school articulation, older than the O-Ring Joes, but you know what I mean. And then to get some, and I'll show you the one that really won me over that was the tipping point for me. But how about this one? Game Master Drone. As a little kid watching this episode of the G.I. Joe animated series, I remember saying, man, I wish they would make these. I wish they would make these. Well, now Super 7's making our dreams come true. Young 6-year-old Kyle says now he finally gets his Game Master drone. If I was going to unbox these, I would buy like 10 of these. That's what you got to do. But how cool is the card on this? Man, just flashbacks. Nostalgia is a heck of a drug. I just wish they weren't $17.99. Now, I'm going to be cursing myself 6 months from now when we see Target, because Target's getting a lot of these right now. When they go down to clearance for $9.99 and stuff like that, I'm just going to be crying in a corner somewhere because got to get a deal, and that would really eat away for me for months if these go down to like $9.99. But I got this one. Of course, Storm Shadow. You got to have Storm Shadow. Oh, just the carding on this. It just gets me. It just gets me. We'll see. Major Blood. A fabulous looking Major Blood. Looks like he just popped right out of the cartoon. And now the next one here. This is the one that won me over that said, Kyle, you got to get this line. Bazooka. Obviously, most people think of Bazooka in his jersey and stuff, but to see this version of Bazooka, it goes back to the animated series. When you're playing as a kid, you're like, man, I wish he was in this costume. I wish I could change him into this. Getting a first-time Bazooka in this outfit, it's just that said, okay, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I said, you know what? Here's what I said. At least I got a red card. I'll save 5%. And then you really don't save 5% because tax is 7%. So it's like you're paying 2 cents tax. But whatever it takes to justify it in your mind. Then we got Lady J. Where's Flint? We better have Flint in Series 3. I hope he's coming very soon. So there's Lady J right there. Series 1 I passed on. We saw those in Books A Million. I passed on those. Now, Big Bad Toy Store has a heck of a deal, and that's where you got to go to get these. Series 1, they have a group set where you can buy the whole thing. It's like $260. It's a lot, but you get everything there, and I'm guessing they're all going to be unpunched, and that's the other caveat here. I ended up finding unpunched versions. You guys know Kyle loves a challenge on the hunt. Unpunched is the way to go, so I got those. But Snake Eyes, now this one seems to be the one you see the most of, is this Snake Eyes, and this is actually a Target exclusive, this Snake Eyes. Doesn't say it anywhere, but it is actually a Target exclusive, so be on the lookout for that. Then we got old Conrad Duke. There he is, Duke. So, man, G.I. Joe Mania running stronger than ever right now. We did hear some news Friday, so right as I'm filming this, I'm getting text messages like you wouldn't believe. We talked last week in Weekly Purchases about the retro-carded G.I. Joe 6-inch figures possibly coming to Walmart as an exclusive, a terribly kept secret. Well, if you live out in Washington State, it sounds like they're hitting Walmart stores right now. I don't know what the heck's going on, how those actually got out there when we haven't even seen official reveals from Hasbro. But Baroness, there's pictures of her out there. Retro-carded, big card. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have room for all these Joes. I got my 25th anniversary wall collection. I got room for these guys, but man, I need to be on card on that retro series. Some tough decisions are going to be made, so stay tuned on the channel. We'll see what ends up happening. But G.I. Joe Mania running strong, running hard, running free, running fast. I'm here for it. You guys know I love G.I. Joe, so I'm here for it. So let's get off the G.I. Joe talk here. A lot of good G.I. Joe stuff. We'll see when I get Series 1. A lot going on, guys. A lot going on. And weekly purchases roll on with the little Power Rangers. Yes, we did it. That's so hard to say goodbye on the Power Rangers. I'm all in on the Super 7 Power Rangers. That's where I'm going to go. But the monsters, I love a good monster. You guys know that. Not sure where we're going to get an Eye Guy from Super 7. Not sure we're going to get Pumpkin, Rapper, Pudgy Pig. I'm sure they'll come eventually. But until that point, I'm going to keep buying the monsters. And then when they do announce this for Super 7, guess what? I'll sell it. I'll have a loose one. I'll get some of my money back to fund the Super 7 one. That's my plan going forward. But I did get the old Eye Guy via Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. Picked that up this week. And I helped out me and that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. I said, I'm coming through your area. I'm going to order 2 of these. It'll save us both $2. Got to get a deal out there. We saved $2 on this one, so there you go. How about some more Batman talk? You guys saw this on my figure hunt. I found this in Cedar Rapids Target on my travels. The Riddler, Unmasked Edition Riddler. So I was very happy to find the Chase Riddler. So I came across him this week, so there you go. And then some more Batmans. I picked up Batman and Batgirl. You guys know I unboxed the 3 Jokers on the channel. I really did like those figures a lot more than I thought I would. And I said, you know what? I saw these. I got to get them. I just said, I got to get them. The 3 Jokers. I don't know if I'm going to get that Red Hood figure. We'll see. That's part of the line. But Batgirl, Batman, I said, I need some representation of them in my McFarlane set. So I'm going to put these guys right in front of that Joker. So I did get 2 more McFarlane DCs. Maybe we'll unbox these 2 together on the channel. We'll see. As usual, you guys tell me what you want at the front of the list to unbox on the channel. We got so much stuff. Where do I go first? You guys decide. You let me know. Speaking of Big Bad Toy Store, again, Super 7 coming in hot, and I held back on the first edition. Then Entertainment Earth had an edition that was glow in the dark, and I said, that's too out there for me. But then this one hit me right where I wanted to be hit. This is the Radioactive Red Rage Toxic Crusaders Toxie. Now, Toxic Crusaders, a cartoon that Kyle just couldn't get into. I don't know if I was getting too old or it just didn't get what I wanted. Now, the Toxic Avenger, the Troma movie, must-see movie. Must-see. I love that kind of stuff. That's right up Kyle's wheelhouse. So I really want a Toxic Avenger represented in my collection, but I didn't really want Toxic Crusaders. This one kind of met me in the middle is how it felt. Maybe I'm just crazy or whatever. Not sure where I'll display this. This wouldn't look bad with like your NECA Ninja Turtles or something. We'll see. But I wanted to get this one. I was so excited for it. I can't wait to check out the light effects on it and stuff. So I finally did get this. Pulled the trigger. Big Bad Toy Store. Got that bad boy in the mail this week. So there you go. Then round 2 is going to finish up with these last 2 things. You guys saw this in the figure hunt. Got to get a deal. $60. I think this was originally like $100, down to $60. I'm one of those guys that loved Hot Rod. I was a Hot Rod guy. Obviously, he turned into Rodimus Prime as here. A lot of people hated Hot Rod, but I was of the age that loved Hot Rod. And I didn't want to get this. Devil and the Angel, they won over and fought, and the Devil won a lot this week. And that's what happened. Rodimus Prime through the door. And then, once again, shiny new toy. Slaps you in the face at Target. I was going to play a long game. Ended up picking it up. Coronation Starscream. I do have an older Starscream that I think I'm going to sell. I'm trying to replace, I really want movie accurate Transformers. So some of my older ones, I'll sell that Starscream. Give me a little bit money back at least. But I got the Coronation one. Comes with a throne for Starscream as well. So very, very cool here. I was happy to pick this one up. $53, a little bit rough. Hurts you a little bit, but I had to do it. I had to do it. And we'll see where this Transformers collection goes. I have a ton of them still to unbox. I need to do like a day-long unboxing. And I'm definitely not doing Transformer reviews on the channel. I'm not going to sit here and try to put these things together for 20 minutes. Nobody wants to see that, myself included. But 2 more Transformers through the door. So there's round 2 of the weekly purchases. Let's keep rolling on. All right, round 3 of the 100th edition of weekly purchases begins, and this is the point of the episode where you guys all say Kyle's totally lost his mind. He's off the deep end. There's no help. There's no hope. There's nothing we can do to save Kyle. He has descended into total, absolute madness, and I can't say you might not be wrong. So this is going to be the Ninja Turtle portion of weekly purchases. So you turtle heads, you're going to love this. Let's dig into it. Let's start first with something fresh off the UPS truck, let's call it. Anthrax and Scumbug, right there, the brand new NECA sets. Got those through the door this week. Got one with my old outlaw friend, Waylon Jennings. We picked up 2 of these so we could share on the shipping. That's the way to do it if you got somebody you can go in with. So I got that one this week. And then, of course, you saw me on the figure hunt this week. Kyle's lost his mind. Absolutely lost it. And this is nothing. This is nothing. But I said, hey, if they have all 4 turtles, guess what? I'm pulling the trigger. I've been a little itchy for these. I've been waiting for them to go to clearance, as I've seen in some people's pictures they've been posting on Twitter and stuff. Follow me on Twitter at SirPaul64. But I've seen people posting these going down to clearance for $8.99, $9.73, stuff like that. Well, not my area. But I saw fresh cases of these. I saw all 4 turtles, and I said, okay, if they have all 4 guys, I'm going to pick these up. And I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of honor. That's exactly what I did. So we got old Michelangelo, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Michelangelo. These are the Playmates. Now, these hit me in the nostalgia feel because, hey, I had these as a kid. They're re-releases. Very cool. But Michelangelo right there. Raphael, of course. That seems to be one of the harder ones of the 4 to find, at least from what I've been seeing out there. Raphael, of course, Leonardo. No, Donatello. Hard to look at these upside down. Donatello, there he is, of course. And you guys saw I got the Party Wagon a few weeks ago, so I guess these are going to go great with the Party Wagon. And then there you go, finish it off with old Leonardo. So, Playmates, Turtles, that's it. That's where that collection stops right there. I got enough other stuff going on, but I figured that and the Party Wagon, good enough for me. I don't think they're going to release Splinter and Shredder. At least I hope they don't. And if they do, I'm going to try to tune my ears out because I don't want anything to do with it. Then I was at Walmart. We saw a big restock. Ended up picking up another Foot Soldier. You can never have enough feet. It smells of feet in here. Foot Soldier NECA 2-pack. Picked up another set. I think that's it. That's all the Foot Soldiers I'm going to need at this point in time. Now, if that wasn't enough, this is where Kyle really loses his mind, and you'll see a future video on this. You know, we've always done it so hard to say goodbyes, but sometimes it's real easy to say hello, and some of you guys are with me. I know you are. But it was so easy to say hello this week as Kyle just descended into absolute madness as it was time. Our old friend Super 7. You know I love Super 7. I collect a lot of their lines. Well, sounds like I'm collecting another line now, as we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Super 7 Ultimates, Leonardo right here, Ninja Turtles, of course. Now, these are based on the Playmates. They are based on this. As we see the NECA cartoon, the NECA figures are based on the cartoon and the movie. So we just saw 2 examples of those. Then you got the old school Playmates that are being re-released a billion times. Now, the Super 7 figures, instead of being movie-based or cartoon-based, their figures are based on the old toys. So they give you the old toy feel, but kind of how you imagine you'd want them to be. A little bit more bells and whistles is what they're, you know, really deluxed up, I guess, at that point. And I fought it for a long time, said, don't need these, don't need these. Then I said to myself, you know what, I need the core Turtles. And that's exactly what I started to do, and you'll see where it goes from there. But got Leonardo through the door. Leonardo, gosh, yeah, Leonardo right there. Leonardo through the door. Had to pick up Michelangelo. Oh, Michelangelo. You know, he loves good pizza. He's a party guy. He's chill. He's a cool dude. Of course, Donatello. Had to get old Donnie. Now, Raphael I did not get, as I have him on order from Big Bad Toy Store. Hopefully he comes very soon. But I am missing Raphael currently, but I got the 3 other Turtles. So there you go. But then I had to get a Foot Soldier, too. You got to have Foot Soldiers for the Turtles to fight. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to get the Turtles. I'll get the Foot Soldiers. And so I got a Foot Soldier. But then I said, you can't just have 1 Foot Soldier, so you got to get 2 Foot Soldiers. So that's exactly what I did. And then I said to myself, Kyle, 2 Foot Soldiers look weird on the shelf, so you got to get another Foot Soldier, and that's what I did. So I got 3 Foot Soldiers, and that's where it stopped. So 3 Foot Soldiers for me. crazy. But I can say that a lot of these were were under the $55 ultimate price. There is some deals to get out there. You just got to search. You got to take the time. Got to get a deal out there. And whatever you do, if you can save $2, that $2 goes to save for something else. So remember that. Good advice. How about Baxter Stockman? I had to have this one. This is the San Diego Comic-Con edition. Now, this is the rarest, most expensive turtle in the Super 7 set. I mean, turtle figure, I guess, Baxter Stockman. So I got San Diego Comic-Con exclusive right here. And then you have to get the regular edition as well to go along with that. So then there's Baxter Stockman right there. Beautiful. So we got all those. But then it didn't stop there. I said, you know what? I got to get Bebop. You got to have Bebop. And there's Bebop right there. And then Mutagen Man, you can't forget him. Old Seymour Guts himself. You had to pick him up. So we got him right there. Holy cow, it's just getting out of control. But then I kept going from there. I said, you know what? Casey Jones, you got to have Casey Jones. So I got Casey Jones right there. And then the hits keep on coming with Shredder. You got to have Shredder, don't you? So Shredder's right here. Holy cow. April O'Neil on Amazon. Got this very cheap. I think $35 for April O'Neil. Got to get a deal. So there's April O'Neil. And the hits keep on coming like a young Mike Nesmith. Mondo Gecko, one of the creepiest lizards of all time. Lizard people, are they real? Are they Mondo Gecko? I don't know. Mondo Gecko through the door. How about another Mutagen Man? This time, the Entertainment Earth exclusive Mutagen Man that glows in the dark. So I picked that one up. So there you go. And how about Splinter? You got to have Master Splinter, don't you? Holy cow, what are we doing here? And then after that, we already had Bebop. You got to have his partner in crime. You got to have that man Rhino, old Rocksteady. So you got that going on. Metalhead, can't forget Metalhead. From one Metalhead to another, you got Metalhead running hard. And then the final piece of the puzzle, I got Muckman and Joe Eyeball. The Turtles Super 7 descent into absolute turtle madness begins right here, right now, in episode 100. Now, the question is, Kyle, you got so much stuff to unbox. You got so much stuff built up. Where does all this go? What are you going to do? I'm on the fence. I don't know if I open these up on the channel or not. This might be something I might just take offline for just myself. Maybe that's the way it'll do. I don't think anybody wants me to release 5 videos a day, let alone 3 videos a day. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm all in at this point on Super 7, as you can see on the Turtles. Got the next sets pre-ordered, of course. Raphael, hopefully coming soon. Have not pulled the trigger on the Party Wagon yet, but I probably will do that. You can still get that at Big Bad Toy Store. As you know, Super 7, all the other places, you can no longer order. Big Bad Toy Store orders a bunch more. You have to put a little bit of a deposit down. But luckily for somebody like me, now I can jump in, get that one. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll probably pre-order that Party Wagon. And then I got to find a display for this. I got some ideas. I just don't know if these will be in my 2022 display tour. I mean, can I get all these unboxed and all that, plus all the other work? I'm not exactly sure, but you'll just have to see. You'll have to wait a month or two for the collection tour, and you'll find out what's going on. But I got to decide, do I do these unboxings on the channel or not? I don't know if anybody would be interested at this point. Some of these are a little bit older, of course, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Leave me a comment down below. So this is round 3. Turtle Mania round 3. We got at least 2 more rounds to go. In the craziest, busiest weekly purchases number 100. All right, we keep on going through with weekly purchases, and I think this is the final thing. I think I can get everything here, so we'll see. But this is the wrestling heavy portion of weekly purchases. So let's kick it off. As you guys saw, we talked about it earlier, Unrivaled Series 8, Chris Jericho. So I got these, I believe it was after weekly purchases. Was it Sunday? Something like that. But we got after these right away, so I did not show them on weekly purchases. So we got Jericho, of course, Chris Statlander. Can't forget old Orange Cassidy. Very interesting. Old Chuck Taylor, the old Kentucky gentleman. Trent Beretta, or just Trent these days. And then, of course, John Moxley as well. So we got Unrivaled Series 8 through the door since we last spoke on weekly purchases. I also got a Dean Ambrose Elite that I'm going to use for a custom. I got a few easy custom ideas. You guys know I love a good head swap, things like that. I got a Dean Ambrose for that idea as well. So there's the Lucy portion of the show today. How about this one? Here's another one, kind of wrestling related. I picked this up on the toy hunt. You saw it on my figure hunt when I was traveling. Ufc Series One, very hit and miss. None of my local area got any UFC figures, but then you have some targets that got a lot. Well, I picked up Jorge Masvidal. Interesting one. By no means am I a big fan. You guys, I've talked about my UFC likes and dislikes, but he was, of course, on AEW in a pay-per-view, all that kind of stuff with Dan Lambert. I figured, you know what, I'm going to put him with my AEW collection. I might as well do it. He's been there. Very cool accessories here. I've never held an AEW Jazzwares UFC figure before, so I might unbox this for science just to see what's going on, compare it to the AEW figures, see what the difference is, see what all the fuss is about, as one might say. And I'm not sure if there's any fuss, as I got a feeling the UFC line is dead in the water, which is unfortunate. Would have loved to see a UFC Legends line one day. Not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll see. All right, here's a few other things. Now, this is an interesting one. I went all in, got a deal, picked these up. I didn't really plan on them coming here this soon, but I got them right away. And, hey, they're part of the weekly purchases. Search for 100, and we're way over 100, or we're going to be after this, of course. But I got some interesting ones. You guys know I love the Bone Crunchers. I was all in. And Stomp was something, especially Stomp Series 1, was something I had to buy when I was a kid. Rebought them many years later, have them on display. But one thing that I never did own until today is the Forebearer. After Stomp ran its course with Stomp 1, 2, and 3, we moved into the old Titantron days and just the hottest of hot garbage figures with that and the R3s. You guys know I don't like them. But instead of Stomp, we turned our attention to Camo Carnage. And Camo Carnage was a line I finally picked up the entire set at a very cheap price. There's old Stone Cold Steve Austin Camo Carnage. Right there. We got the old one Billy Gunn, old BA Billy Gunn. Got him there. We've got Triple H, or nope, Road Dogg on this one. Road Dogg right there. Keep going. This is Triple H. Yep, Triple H right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these in the package or if I'm going to open them up. I'm leaning towards opening them up and displaying them with the Stomp, having a shelf of all of them together. It's kind of my plan. Of course, we got X-Pac. There he is. Just recently on GCW, if you saw that last week. And then China, just looking beautiful as ever. A little rough on this one, but got China. So there's Camo Carnage, but that's not it. There's more. As we know, there was an exclusive retailer, and it's EB Games, maybe? Yeah, it's been a while. But we got Stone Cold Steve Austin Series 2, or the Repaint Series, whatever you want to call them. Stone Cold Steve Austin right there. Billy Gunn right there. It's all coming up Camo Carnage. There's old China. Some simple repaints here. We've got X-Pac right there. We've got Triple H. There he is. And the Road Dogg, Jesse James. And there's he right there. So, an interesting set. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. Time will tell. We might unbox them. Maybe we'll do one here, one here. I don't know. We got so much stuff piling up, as you guys know. I don't even know where to go at this point in time. But there's the Camo Carnage. 2 sets of Camo Carnage. Now we get into some more stuff. How about Jack's Ruthless Aggression? Picked this one up for like $10. Damaged packaging. I'm going to open it up anyways. It's Ric Flair. I'm a sucker for a good deal. $10 shipped. Couldn't pass this up. It does have the ugly best of sticker on his leg, and we'll talk about that in an unboxing one day on the channel. Probably 2024. We'll probably get to that one. We'll see what happens. I talked about customizing that Dean Ambrose figure. Going to do the same thing with this Triple H. So I got an extra version of this Triple H. So there you go, Triple H through the door once again. And we keep on going. How about giveaway time? Should we do the giveaway right now? And it's going to be Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, this is the best of Legends Series 13, if you ask me. I love this Jake Roberts figure. Just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is my favorite Jake Roberts figure of all time. If I had to redo my top 5 list, this would be it. Well, of course, via Target, we pre-ordered all these things. I didn't cancel my Jake the Snake because I said, hey, I need the chase and all that. Well, I forgot to cancel it. He ended up coming. I got the regular edition, which is fine. I was going to take it back, and I said, you know, I should do a giveaway for the 100th edition of Weekly Purchases. So we're going to give this away. All you got to do is you have to like this video, of course. You better be subscribed to the channel. And then, of course, you have to put a comment down below. Put your Instagram or Twitter handle down below to be eligible. I will have the kids. One of them will pick a name out of that. But you better be following me on Twitter, SirPaul64, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, Instagram, of course. So you got to be following me on Instagram, Twitter, preferably both. Got to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. Have to give the video a thumbs up, and you got to put your comment with your handle down below. And then, like I said, next week on Weekly Purchases, I will announce the winner, and I will send this off to you. So there it is, Jake Snake Roberts in the house. That's the giveaway. Be ready for that. And then 2 more that came a while ago that we haven't got around to yet. Top picks, Elite Top Picks, Rey Mysterio. Elite Top Picks, The Rock. I passed on The Undertaker for now. Maybe when I see it in the store, I'll pick it up. It does have pinless joints, so that is a different from Elite 85. So now my crazy head says, well, it's got pinless joints. It's technically a different figure. I'm going to have to play the long game. I'd love to get a loose version or a cheaper one, but I'm going to play the long game, and I will get The Undertaker eventually. It is what it is. So there you go. The Rock, Rey Mysterio. And then did we save the best for last? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But I did find the Goon this week. I thought I was going to miss out as I saw a ton of stores that were missing Elites. And I said the next day or two, they are going to get a case, and it's going to have the Goon. I was exactly right. Went back a couple days later. Bam! Fresh case on the pegs. Got the Goon. Went the next day to a different Walmart. Found another Goon for a good friend of the channel, David C. Anderson. Got his Goon for him as well. He said, please be on the lookout. And I saw it right then and there. So good for David. Good for me. Good for us all. We got the Goon in the house. So we'll be unboxing him on the channel this week. I can't wait to jump in with these skates. I think it looks very, very cool. We'll see what happens. So there it is. Weekly purchases 100. We got a giveaway in the Jake Roberts. Make sure you follow direction there. Hope you guys enjoy weekly purchases. Milestone event. 2 million views on the channel right now. A lot of good stuff to come. So stay tuned. Subscribe. SirPaul64 on Twitter. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Support the channel as you guys always know. And now I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. And I'm going to my favorite pizza place. And it's been closed for 3 years. It is back open. I'm going to hit it up, and full review to come on the old Iowa Pizza King Facebook channel. So there you go. More to come on pizza. We'll talk about that later. But like I said, rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. I'll see you guys all real soon.